Welcome to My Story Plus, the magical podcast where, every night, we dive into a world of enchantment and adventure. I'm your host, the weaver of dreams and tales, here to guide you through forests of fantasy, over mountains of mystery, and across seas of sparkling stories. Whether we're flying with dragons, dancing with fairies, or solving puzzles with pirates, each story is a journey waiting just for you. So, snuggle up, close your eyes, and let your imagination soar. It's time for a story, and tonight's tale is just about to begin. Welcome, little dreamers, to My Story Plus. The Whispering Woods. Lily and Leo were two siblings who lived in a small town surrounded by a dense forest. They were always fascinated by the forest, with its tall trees and mysterious atmosphere. Their parents had always warned them never to venture too deep into the forest for fear of getting lost, but as curious children, they couldn't resist the temptation of exploring the unknown. One sunny afternoon, they decided to sneak into the forest and see what secrets it held. They carefully made their way through the trees, giggling and chasing each other. As they went deeper, they noticed that the atmosphere around them was changing. The trees seemed to be whispering to each other, their leaves rustling in a gentle breeze. Lily and Leo suddenly paused, captivated by the strange yet calming noise. They looked at each other in amazement and then continued on their journey, following the whispers of the trees. The more they walked, the more they could make out the words being spoken by the trees. They were sharing secrets and stories of the forest and its inhabitants. The tales enthralled Lily and Leo, and they couldn't help but listen intently. As they walked further, they came across a clearing where a large oak tree stood. The tree was majestic, with its gnarled branches reaching towards the sky. Its trunk was covered in intricate carvings, and its roots spread out in all directions. The siblings stood in front of the tree, awestruck by its beauty. Suddenly, the tree spoke, its voice deep and wise. "Welcome, children. I am the guardian of this forest, and I have been waiting for you." Lily and Leo were taken aback, not expecting a tree to speak to them. But they were also curious and approached the tree, eager to hear more. "I have been watching you, and I see that you are lost," the tree continued. "But fear not, for I will guide you back home. However, in return, I ask that you listen to the stories of the forest and learn from them." The siblings nodded eagerly, and the tree began to tell them about the creatures that lived in the forest, the magic that flowed through its veins, and the importance of preserving nature. They were fascinated by the tree's words and felt a deep connection to the forest. As the sun began to set, the tree led them out of the forest, and they found themselves back in their town. Their parents were relieved to see them and scolded them for going into the forest. But Lily and Leo couldn't stop talking about their adventure and the secrets they had learned from the whispering trees. From that day on, Lily and Leo would often sneak into the forest, but this time, they would sit under the oak tree and listen to its stories. They also started to pay more attention to the trees and the creatures living in the forest, realizing that they were all connected and had their own stories to tell. One day, while sitting under the oak tree, Lily noticed a group of men chopping down trees in the forest. She immediately ran to her father and told him what she had seen. Her father, who was a logger, didn't believe her and scolded her for making up stories. But Lily was determined to save the forest and its inhabitants. She went to the town's mayor and told him about the men cutting down trees. The mayor, who had also heard the whispers of the trees, decided to investigate. He found out that the men were cutting down the trees illegally without any permission from the authorities. The mayor put a stop to their actions and declared the forest a protected area. He also organized a team of experts to study the forest and its inhabitants, and they were amazed by what they found. The forest was home to rare and endangered species, and the trees were more than just plants, they were living beings with their language and stories to share. Lily and Leo were hailed as heroes, and the forest was named the Whispering Woods in honor of the tree's secret language. The siblings had learned the importance of listening, not just with their ears but with their hearts. They also learned the importance of preserving nature and respecting all living beings. From that day on, the forest was no longer a mysterious and scary place, but a sanctuary where Lily and Leo would spend most of their time. The trees continued to whisper their secrets, grateful to have found two young listeners who truly understood their language. And like the last whisper of the wind, our story tonight comes to a close. Dreamers of My Story Plus, remember, in the world of imagination, adventures never truly end. Keep dreaming, keep believing, and I'll be here, waiting with a new tale to explore. Until then, good night and sweet dreams. See you in the next adventure.